Wake up. Wake up, baby. Wake up. You already know. Alright. Let's turn this off. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Jonathan Rosales. We here in the Network Marketing Maverick show. Just want to introduce myself. This is the first episode, 26 years old, and I'm broke. Yep, I'm broke financially, but we rich in experience and in culture. See, in 2011, I want this show, okay, to be my journey and my documentation. You see, for the last 7 years, I've been involved in network marketing and I failed flat in my face because I haven't been able to focus. So this is my declaration video of me saying I am committing my whole life to becoming a professional network marketer, to be in the profession of network marketing, to make and choose network marketing as my career choice and my ultimate full turn of the wheel, burn all the ships behind me to go forward. You see, I've come a long way in the entrepreneurial world. Even though I'm not there financially, I am there mentally, and I am ready and prepared to take on the impact that I've been asking for. So I want to bring you way back to 2011, and that's where my journey began, But before that, in 2011, that was my freshman year of college. That's where I got involved in my first network marketing company. But before that, you see, I come from a big family of 5. I'm a big brother. Being the oldest, I automatically took the role model position, and I always wanted to set the bar. And the reason why I always wanted to set the bar was because being the big brother, I wanted my baby brothers and sisters to look up to me. I have my baby sister Tiffany, Chelsea, Madison, and Aiden. And you see, every time I would go to school, I would always have them in the back of my mind. You see, growing up, I also got to experience my parents' struggle, financial struggles. And I was the oldest, and I was the only one that was able to understand, even though they were living that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, I was getting everything I wanted. But then I found out they weren't getting everything they wanted. And you see, before I hit college, my parents went through a divorce. And I found out that a lot of divorces happening because of financial struggles. And during that divorce, we also went through a foreclosure. And I'm just being transparent and vulnerable here so you can see where I come from. And because of that path that I was in, going through a divorce with my parents and also going through a foreclosure, I was my early stages from like 14 to 18 were very unstable. You see, I was living from house to house. I didn't have a room for almost 7 years. I was living from couch to couch. I'm talking about 1 week at my mom's, 1 week at my dad's. Take the bus in the morning, go to school, get out. And then at one point, my junior year, I was getting a little rebellious and I was missing school all the time because I was going to go play soccer. So anyways, senior year comes and I made a decision to stick with it and go to school so I can start going to college, right? And the reason why I did that was because my parents, the only thing they taught me was, because they came from a third world country, they're immigrants from Guatemala. The only thing they taught me and instilled in me was go to school, get good grades so you can get a good job. Education was such a high value. You see, my father has third grade education and he dropped out and started working hard labor. My mother, she actually was born in Guatemala, came here when she was young, and then went to high school here, but she never really got into the education because it wasn't her. She grew up with a traditional mindset. My grandmother, hard worker, she came here when she was extremely young and worked here and became a citizen. So I always was instilled, and especially my grandma, was you have to go to school. That's the only way out. That's the only way you're going to get out and get ahead in life, right? And I don't know if you've heard that before in your family, but that's how it was in my family. So school for me was important. And I was always a good student in school, never had problems, never got suspended, except one time that I was close to getting suspended, but I was hanging around with the wrong people. But I was always a B student. And so when senior year came, I decided to go to college, and I got accepted to all my colleges. And the only reason why I didn't go to the ones that I really truly wanted to go was because of financial financial aid. I got accepted, and in some schools were too expensive for my family, couldn't afford it. So I went to the school that gave me the most financial aid, right? And so I went to URI, and when I went to URI, I went for civil engineering. But before I even chose civil engineering, I don't know about you, but I was undecided. I had no idea what I was going for. I had no clue what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, what I wanted to study so I can become a professional. And it's a big choice to make when you're 18, especially growing up in a household when they're not even telling you, go follow your passion, go follow your dreams. They're just saying, go to school, get good grades. And I don't know if you can relate, but that was me. And so I went to school and I was just following the pack. I followed my peers, and good thing that I did have peers that came from the same high school. They were all wanted to be engineers. So I was like, you know what? I looked it up, Google, and I found out civil engineering was the highest paid profession in engineering. So I was like, I'll be an engineer. $120,000 is average what the civil engineer earns a year. I was like, that's the one I want. Big bucks, right? Chasing the money. Later in my life, I found out that, see, when I chased the money, it would run away. But when I chased value, money would chase me. But that was later on. And so I went to school, and I went to URI, and I was doing civil engineering. And for 4 years, I was double majoring, civil engineering and Spanish. And at the same time, I had 3 jobs. I was a bartender, a waiter, and I also worked at school. I worked at school. I was an intern for a very prestigious company, and I came to find out that I didn't like engineering. I was there for 2 years, and in the construction management position, that's where civil engineering, that's one of the jobs I was going to become a professional for. They didn't like that job. But luckily, my freshman year, I got involved with network marketing. And for 4 years, every single year, I did a different company. And the reason why I chose network marketing on top of everything I was doing, see, I didn't look at it as a 100% goal in. I didn't see it as a career choice. I just saw it as a side hustle at the time. And the reason why I fell in love with the idea of network marketing was, one, the person that showed me back in the day was a 20-year-old and had a Mercedes. Did not know who he was, complete stranger. I met him at URI, and it just sparked in me the idea of becoming wealthy. You see, I come from a family that isn't really financially free. They are, I want to say, lower middle class. My dad is still, for the last 20 years, he's been a janitor, and my mom has been going from job to job to job, and a lot of times she pretty much does unemployment. And that's something that I always it's a little button of mine. Being an American, I think that she doesn't value the opportunity that she has in this country, but that's another course. But the idea of becoming wealthy in network marketing was what really sparked me. And the second thing that sparked me again was the power of leverage. You see, growing up in this society, and especially in the corporate America, it felt like you had to step on people to go up the ladder, or you had to belittle people and become better than people to go up the ladder. But in fact, in network marketing, what I've learned is the better you become, and the better you become at making others better than you, the more value you bring to the marketplace, the more value comes into your pocket. And that's what I loved about this idea, was you truly become your brother's keeper. And so that's what I fell in love with. And ever since my freshman year, I've been obsessed, not truly to the extent where I am right now, but to the extent that I always was open-minded to go to these opportunity meetings, to go see what my friends and family members were doing. And so I always kept my income options open. But here's the thing. One thing that I realized while I was at school was working that 9 to 5, it wasn't for me. So in my junior year, after 3 years of civil engineering, I'm talking about Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, I decided to drop out. And I dropped out of college. That was the most devastating time in my family's life. My grandma disowned me, basically. My mom didn't even want to see me. I didn't want to do it for me because I didn't feel passion for what it was I was going for. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And network marketing always was in the side burner because I failed flat in my face. I'm talking about, I talked about it. I was in the NFL club, the No Friends League. I share this and it wasn't working for me, right? I joined the first concept that I joined was an energy drink. Didn't work. The company went out of business. The second company was a supplement company. Didn't work for me because I really didn't even go to the gym. And the third company that I joined was a online service provider. Didn't know even how it worked. It didn't work for me. So junior year comes, I'm not in network marketing no more, and I drop out of college. And what do? I went to go work at a factory. I was working for Braining, and it was a factory company that was making little pieces for a bunch of stuff. Like when you get hurt and you get the Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid has that little clip, I was making those things. And so I got fired there. And the reason why I got fired, because I was on my phone. And so I got fired, but before I left, I realized someone who was there, who was actually in one of my classes in civil engineering. So I looked at, and I was like, wow, me and him were in the same class, and now we're in complete different positions. I'm a factory worker making $12 an hour, working the graveyard shift, and he's an intern on the other side. And at that moment, I realized, wow, I still don't want to be that. So I was like, cool, keep it moving. And I got fired, but luckily, right before I got fired, I don't know how God works. I'm not here to preach to you, but I do believe in God, and I had applied. I applied to become a personal banker, and it was literally a walk-in interview. I got the job, gave him my resume, and I showed him that I was in school, and he accepted me, and it was my charisma at the time, my ability to speak. I do truly believe a lot of people don't like network marketing because they think they need to be in sales. At the end of the day, every day you're selling yourself. Either you're selling yourself to your husband, your wife, your kids, your parents, your employer, your school. You're selling yourself. You see, when you apply to college, your application is your sales letter. So I was able to sell myself, and when I got the job, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a suit and tie, and I'm sitting in the bank, and I'm like, wow, this is a high paying job, right? In my mind at the time, I was like 20, 21. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a real job. And I was like, this is where it clicked for me. I said, I don't have to graduate from college to have a real job. And I was like, wow. And so I was there 6 months. I was happy, going all in. I got a new car, pulled out a brand new car of the year. Bad decision, very bad decision. And I'll tell you later what happens with that car. Pull that out, going to school. I wasn't going to school. I was going to work, working at this bank. And then something happened after 6 months. That enthusiasm of the new employee shifted. Everybody's attitude of having the new employee, the new coworker, went like this. Everybody was boring. Everybody hated their job all of a sudden. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I like what I'm doing. I like helping people because I was the only Spanish speaking person there. So all the Spanish leads were coming to me. So I was like, I was doing great. But I noticed their energy around me was contagious. And all of a sudden I started to hate the job. I was like, why am I here? And I didn't want to go there no more. So the frustrations, and they started noticing that, right? They started noticing my energy level was going down. And so I started getting strikes because I wasn't doing my job right. And then what happened was Uber came into my life. So I had a brand new car, and Uber had just entered the market in Rhode Island. So I'm in Rhode Island, for those who don't know. And Rhode Island is the smallest state. It's not Long Island, it's Rhode Island. And so I was one of the first Uber drivers here. And so I became an Uber ambassador at the same time working at the bank. And all of a sudden, this is what happened. I was working full time at my job, part time on a side hustle, which was Uber. And all of a sudden, I started making more money in Uber than I was at my job. And I was like, wait a minute. I got a boss here. I'm my own boss over here. Working for the bank, I got to hit goals. Over here, I work for myself and I hit my own goals. I was like, very interesting. So I kept my energy level low. As soon as I got out of work, I went full force Uber. And I got fired from the bank. I'm not afraid to admit it. I got fired, and it's all good because it was the best thing that could have happened to me. And so I got fired, and that was the last time that I had an employer. I was still working out as a waiter, but eventually I made the full force decision to go Uber full time. I was like, I no longer want a boss. I no longer want that. I had that taste of entrepreneurism. So I was full time Uber, right? And full time Ubering, a couple months go by. This is in February 2015, and my best friend shows me another network marketing opportunity. And at the time, I was fed up. I was done. I don't know if you've ever been in this. I don't know. If you're watching this, you're most likely interested in network marketing. So at this time, I already had done 3 companies. I had failed flat in my face. It wasn't working. Showed everybody in my network. I'm talking about everyone. Obviously, people were saying, oh, that don't work. That's a pyramid scheme. Oh, that's a scam. And so my best friend that I showed 3 times before always said no to me. He said, no, 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 no. So this time he comes into my house. He goes, hey, man, I just joined a network marketing company. First thing I said, F you, buddy. Like, what are you talking about? You never joined me. Those things never work. Cause that's what you told me. What's the product? And he told me the product, and I was like, oh my goodness. If you want to know the product, you gotta DM me. I'm sorry. This platform is more for the education platform. I'm gonna interview other network marketers. I'm not here to pitch you. I'm 100% not here to pitch you. This is more education. But yeah, so I joined. I threw in my credit card. I was like, hey, go, I'm in, I'm down. That's amazing. By the way, it's not, I'll give you a hint. My product is most companies' reward. Does that make sense? So my product is the reward that most companies give out to people who are top earners, who hit goals. That's the most I'm gonna give. So I joined and I fell in love. I was in it for it. I was like, yes, let's do it. So I was doing Uber full time, and here we go again. Failed flat in my face. And I was not following the system that the mentors were teaching me. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just stuck the course. And what happened during that summer of 2015 was I started one thing. And that one thing changed my whole life. And it was self-development. You see, the reason why I believe that I failed, by the way, I'm making residual income now. But the reason why I want to say that is because the last 3 companies that I wasn't making residual income, and it wasn't because of my upline, was because they didn't teach me one thing. See, network marketing is a business actually disguised as the most hardcore personal development course you'll ever take in your life. You see, when I went to go pitch one of my friends the idea, he said, Jonathan, the idea is great. I believe in network marketing. However, do you study the profession? Have you studied the industry of network marketing? And I was like, nah, I don't. He's like, you going to school for engineering, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got to pass an exam after you graduate, right, to be a professional engineer? I said, yeah. He's like, why aren't you passing exams for network marketing? I was like, oh, right? He goes again. He tells me this. He's like, if you wanted to be a lawyer, you had to go to law school. If you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. He's like, what makes you think you're going to become a professional network marketer if you have no education on the industry? I was like, wow. And what did he give me that day? That day, he handed me his personal copy of GoPro by Eric Worre. And that day changed my life. I read that book in a week. And that book, there was one thing that I learned and I took and I dove right into it. He goes, you have to become a student of personal development. And over the course of the last 4 years, I've been able to read well over 100 books, apply into my business and into my personal life, and it's completely changed my life. So go back to the story. So he gives me the book, and I read the book in personal development, and I was like, whoa, I'm going to go back to school for business, because network marketing was business. So I got motivated to go back to school. For those that those who are in Rhode Island, there's a program called Talent Development here at the University of Rhode Island. So I'm a TD student, and so I go to my TD advisor. I'm like, hey man, look, I'm back. I told you I was gonna be back. I wasn't coming back, but I came back. So I'm like, I'm back and I want to do business. And he goes, look, check this out. I get it. If you want to do business, you have to do 2 more years. I'm like, no. I already did 4 years of college. I'm like, dude, I need to graduate right now. What can I do? He said, luckily, if you don't want to do engineering, fine. You can graduate as a Spanish degree, as a Spanish major. I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanted to graduate so I can set the bar. And the reason why I wanted to set the bar was so my brothers and sisters that follow me, and also to make my parents proud, and my grandma, especially my grandma. And so I go back to school, and it's 2015, fall 2015, and I'm going back to school to finish the following spring 2016 is when I graduated. I'm a first college graduate student. Let's get it. First ever individual in my whole generation to graduate and have a college degree in the United States. So in 2015, that fall though, it was profound because God works in mysterious ways. And I'm like, I tell you, I'm not here to preach unto you, but I was there, and I saved my general education classes. I didn't take them at first. If you're watching this and you're a college student and you don't know what you're doing, or you're looking for something, I'm telling you right now, take your general education first, because that's where you tap into every classes, all the different types of genres, and you'll see what you like. And whatever you like, go for it. There was a couple of classes I had during my first years that I should have just followed the intuition inside and just gone with it. That was economics and philosophy. And I remember I told my friend one story. I was in philosophy. I was like, yo, I want to be a philosophy major. He's like, well, do you want to be a 21st century philosopher? And he made fun of me. And it was the peer pressure that caused me to stay with civil engineering. So I was like, yeah, you're right. But I should have been a philosopher. And it's just funny how the world works and how the universe just, what's meant for you is meant for you. You see, I don't believe in competition. What's meant for you is meant for you. And I don't want what's meant for you for me, because I got what's mine. So I go back, and it's that fall 2015, right? Taking general education classes. I'm graduating the following spring with a Spanish degree. So all the classes were easy. I'm talking about Com 100, English 101, it was easy classes. I got straight A's. I ended up being on these list, which never happened because obviously the years prior to that, the classes were extremely hard. I'm talking about Cat 4, chemistry, which I failed 4 times, and the only time I passed was my 5th time with a C, and that was during the summer. So that fall, I was taking English 101 in my last year. Speaking of that, I can't even find my necklace. That's not the case. Anyways, that final year, right, I was taking English 101. And in English 101, the final assignment was to write a short story. And at the time, I had a necklace, a turtle necklace, because I'm a big enthusiast. I'm enthusiastic about turtles. Ever since, I love symbolism. I always loved literature. And what turtles symbolized was wisdom. So I'm always seeking wisdom, spreading the wisdom. And so I remember looking down and I was like, oh, I'll write a short story about a turtle. And I was like, oh, I'll call the turtle Nori, which is my nickname, Nori for Noriega. And I was like, you know what? I'll make a short story of a young turtle going to search the oldest turtle alive. And that's the journey. It's going to be a short story. Great. So in class, while the teacher's still giving the assignment, I Google a short story, and it goes, I Google oldest turtle alive. And it comes out Jonathan, St. Galapagos Island turtle. And he happens to be 184 years old at the time, right? 184 years old, and he lives in St. Helena. And I was like, wow, I'm going to write a short story. Fast forward 4 years later, that short story turned into a published book. So I am a published author. My journey has been crazy. I've hit rock bottom to the point where I've been broke. I've been so broke that I couldn't even afford to live for free. Does that make sense? I couldn't even afford to live for free. Okay? And the reason why was I was trying to take shortcuts. We live in this instant gratification kind of society. So, taking shortcuts, taking the easy ways out is what I was looking for. So, boom. I'm still involved in a network marketing company at this time. And I tried the product for the first time, and I fell in love with it. I come back that fall, right? That winter break, I tried the product. Fell in love with the product. Went to my first training to the company. and it completely changed my game. It completely changed my life. Again, it was the second time it changed my life. I was like, whoa, I'm reading all this self-help books, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, GoPro, The Greatest Salesman in the World, The Compound Effect. I'm reading all this. Plus now I've tried the product, and I've gone to the training, the big national training events, the small regional ones, and then the big ones. And I was like, whoa, this thing is crazy. So I owe my whole success to network marketing because I plugged into a system where they taught you how to build this thing the right way. And so I come back from January. I finished school in May, but from January, I had 3 jobs still, going to school full time and working part time on my fortune, like Jim Rohn says. From January to July, with all that on top of me, I hit the first tier of residual income in my business. And I was like, wow. Well over 100 people in my downline. I was like, whoa, I got it. I got it. This is it. And so I wanted to make this video because I wanted to document my journey. Fast forward 4 years later, because of my network marketing company, I've been able to go on well over 35 vacations all over the world, 9 different countries. I've been helping people succeed in the network marketing industry, success to whatever level of success is to them, right? Everybody's success level is different. My level of success is not the same level as the type of level of success that you want. But the reason why I'm making this episode is because I want to show you where I am right now, today. Today, I am not where I want to be. And so I want to start documenting my journey from where I am today. If you look at my Instagram, I look like I'm a millionaire, but I'm not. Okay? And the reason why I want to tell you that is because I'm tired of being an imposter in the network marketing industry. I'm tired of being an amateur or a poser. It's time that I made the decision. So I graduated and obviously making residual income. I quit everything. I said, I'm doing this full time now. Mind you, at the time, my residual income was like $500. Okay. So I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm going to the top of the company. Let's go. Making millions of dollars a year. That wasn't the case. So I quit my jobs that I had, which was waitering, bartending on the weekends, Ubering. I quit it all. I said, I got this. I'm taking it to the top. Let's go. Nope. That's not how it goes. I ended up getting my car repossessed. Ended up being currently $60,000 in credit card debt, $20,000 in student loan debt. So it is July 2nd, 2019. And that's where I am right now. And the reason why I want to tell you this is because I want you to see the journey. Because I have a firm belief. See, now I've burned all the bridges. You see, I've been distracted. So I fell flat on my face, right? So that summer, right, I quit all my jobs, quit all my income, and I focused on network marketing. I was like, oh, I got this. I got the first tier of residual income. It's going to skyrocket. Nope. It went like this. It went peaks and valleys. I hit a peak and I hit a valley, right? And so in that valley, I've been in that valley for almost 4 years. And over the course of those 4 years, I've been employed. I've been doing side hustles. I even actually went back to work. I've had well over since 2011. I got the notes right here. Since 2011, I've had 35 different jobs. 35 different ways of making money. That's including the network marketing companies. I was a pizza maker, ice cream scooper, a tub painter for a day. I was in car sales for about a week, car detailing for a day, kitchen designer for 2 months. I know how to design kitchens apparently. I did real estate wholesale. Didn't like it. I was doing interpreting for an interpretation company. I did door-to-door sales. That one stretched me. I did that for 7 months. I was doing solar sales, a delivery driver, right? A travel agent for 2 months. I went back to corporate. Almost blew my head off. But I learned a lot of secrets in the travel industry, so I went to be a travel agent. Before that, I tried to be an insurance agent. I tried to sell insurance for cars and life insurance. I was like, wow, I am a train wreck. That's why my car insurance is skyrocket, right? I was an Uber driver, like I told you, factory worker, like I said, a personal banker, a waiter, a garbage boy. I worked with my dad cleaning, right? That was one of my first jobs. I was a bus boy for a restaurant. I was a bartender, like I said before. You know, I've done it almost everything. And there is nothing that can compare to the network marketing industry. Okay? I've taken courses on social media marketing. I owned my own company for 2 years. The last 2 years, I owned a social media company. That's what I've been living off of the most of the time. I was making 800 to 1,500 was the most I ever made in a month. And I did that for almost 2 years. You know, instead of living that check to check lifestyle, I was living that commission to commission lifestyle. Trust me, the check to check is way better than the commission to commission. But here's the thing, you see, I was distracted. I was not focused. I was writing a book. Dude, I was being an owner of a social media company while at the same time rebuilding my network marketing company. While at the same time trying to do real estate. I was all over the place. All over the place. And see, now I've made a decision to only do network marketing. That's it. One. Focus. Follow one course until successful. That's it. This is my declaration video. This is my origin video. This is the video that I'm going to start. The network marketing maverick. I'm going to be the network marketing maverick because I'm a full believer there is no better way than being fully committed to network marketing. Fully committed. But you see, I built this thing traditionally. I'm back at residual income. I just closed out. I didn't even close out. I stepped out of my social media company. Smooth social media company. I stepped out of it. I don't want to be a part of it. Why? Because I need to focus on one thing. Just one thing. Some people say they can multi-focus, but you can't. The brain can only focus on one thing at a time. So I'm going to become obsessed with one thing, and that's to become a top income earner in network marketing. And the purpose of this channel is for me to educate not only myself, but those who join my downline, those who I'm becoming a mentor to, those who I am a mentor to, those who just are looking for a reason of becoming financially free. This channel is for network marketers who want to build it traditionally, belly to belly, and use the power of the internet to also increase in scale and also provide that impact. So that's my story. I hope to see you in the next videos. Comment below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Follow me on Instagram, Jonathan Loves Life. I hope that was transparent enough. Can't wait to see you in the inside. Peace out.